Oswalt.
Hello, Hall H. How's everybody doing? Thank you. Hang on. Oh, that's some good BO, ladies and gentlemen. Wow. Those are some nerd bodies stewing in the sun. Thank you. My favorite perfume. All right. Thank you guys so much for coming out here to the Stranger Things panel. I'm going to be your host, and I'm not going to waste any of your time. The show rules. You know that it rules. And I was very, very happy to get to be asked to do this, because this show for me, and for I'm sure a lot of you, is basically my adolescence in the 80s. The only thing that was missing is if one of the kids fell into a Galaga machine and actually had to pilot a ship for real. So today, a little later, you're going to be seeing some footage from the second season that nobody has seen. Let's just start. Let's get into it. Let's bring in the creators of this pop culture juggernaut. Ladies and gentlemen, please welcome the Duffer Brothers. And also, the executive producer and director, Sean Levy. Ladies and gentlemen, Sean Levy. Okay, now I gotta just start off. Clearly, Duffer Brothers. Can I call you Duffer Brothers as if you're a single entity?
Please.
Can you answer by each doing an alternate word, like you're some weird alien parasitic twins? That would be really cool, because that's how a lot of people think of you, I think, maybe.
Yeah,
all right.
We're dealing with that.
Okay, good. So what was, for people that aren't familiar, what was the brain of the idea? How did this concept come to be? Did you kind of mash up your adolescence, or what?
Yeah, I know, like, we're like obviously big movie nerds, have always been. That's what we wanted to do. And we started to get into television as it became more and more cinematic.
Yes.
Shorter seasons, they started to feel like big movies. And so we're like,
there was like True Detective, Cary Fukunaga doing that, and Steven Soderbergh's The Nick, and we just started going, I'm as excited or more excited by this stuff I'm seeing on television, if you even want to call it that.
and so it was like, what would be the ultimate long movie? And it would be Spielberg directing a big, fat Stephen King book. And so
John Carpenter doing that.
Yeah, John Carpenter.
With John Carpenter music, yeah.
Right. So that was the dream. That was sort of the ambition.
We didn't think anyone was going to make it, so that was a nice surprise.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Wow, nice. And then, Sean, how did you get involved? What made you go, oh?
Well, my executive, Dan Cohen, he comes to me one day and he says, you need to stop what you're doing. I've read the script by these two twin brothers that no one's ever heard of, and it might be the best thing I've ever read. And I read it, and it was. And I didn't know kind of how it was going to work, and again, we didn't know if anyone was going to let us make it, and we definitely didn't know if anyone was going to watch it. But I knew that this combination of an 80s backdrop, genre, and character authenticity was going to be something special, and I told the brothers, you know what, whatever you need, that's what I'm going to do, and let's get this into the world.
Yeah, this was the fastest thing I ever binged. Once I saw the font on the title.
You were in, right?
I was like, oh, no, man, that's every Stephen King novel font. That's awesome. Yeah. Does that font have a name? Did you specifically search that one out, or?
I do remember when we were coming up with the title, we were just testing it out in the font. We wanted something to look good.
Yeah.
It's like in that font, it was important to look good aesthetically. I think it got tweaked a little bit, but even from our lookbook on, it was a version of that. So we wanted to look, like one of those Stephen King paperbacks that we devour.
I'm sorry, guys. I just know that Hall H loves font questions. Like that's the first thing I want to know about.
But also, I mean, it's like that's an expression of the auteurship of the brothers. Is like right down to font. Like they knew what they wanted from the font before we even made the show, and that's how specific.
You knew it.
Yeah, from the ground up.
It's important.
And then the composer, the soundtrack of this show is fantastic. Have you heard about about like because I remember when Twin Peaks came out in the early '90s, that Angela Badalamente's music began showing up, and like I would remember going to clubs and they would play that music. Has the Stranger Things theme made its way into any? That's a perfect end of rave song to get everyone to start going home.
Because the Duffers are always at raves.
Yeah, exactly.
I think they are at concerts. They'll play it before the band comes out and stuff like that. I'm really happy for these guys, Con and Michael, and they're amazing. They're out of Austin. They had never composed for film or TV before.
Really? What made you pick them then? Like,
they had a synth band called Survive, and we were into them, and we tested it over like footage of E.T. and all this stuff that we mashed up together. We thought it was cool, and they did some test samples, and then we said, they had day jobs. You can't make a living as an electronic musician in Austin.
Wait a minute, they weren't making that easy synth band money?
No, they weren't. I don't know.
Weird. Wait.
They weren't. So I said, will you quit your jobs, do this full time? They were like, hell yes. And here we are. Yeah.
I love the commitment to the '80s. You went for a synth band. Does one of them play a guitar? Because that would make it even more perfect. There was a guitar in there somewhere.
They've got, I don't know what the hell.
Probably everything.
Everything. Yeah, one of them worked at a used synth electronics store. So.
A used synth store.
Yeah.
Is there anything more Austin than a used synth store?
Yeah.
That a guy is. I mean, sorry, unless they're selling pot out of the back, there's no. Okay, well, how about we bring on the cast from season 1? I'm sorry, hang on. No, I'm being told, ask more synth questions. Okay, so what was...
More fonts.
Well, first out, of course, the girl next door with the tough side, Nancy Wheeler. Ladies and gentlemen, Natalia Dyer. And then, we of course have the Hawkins heartthrob. Please do not rush the stage as Steve Harrington, Joe Keery. Ladies and gentlemen. Next, please welcome the best police chief in Hawkins, Indiana. Bringing back Hellboy's got a dad bod. Okay. And now, already. And now we have the mad scientist who will stop at nothing, Dr. Martin Brenner, played of course by Matthew Modine, ladies and gentlemen. There he is. Matthew Modine. He was out selling ecstasy all day, now he's here. That's right. Sit down, Matthew. Yeah. How you doing, man? Wow. You need more mellow. You're gonna turn into a skateboard. Like, just try to unmellow yourself. Oh my God. There is not a kid in the world who can handle a slingshot better than this guy. Please welcome the ultimate bandana-wearing badass, Lucas Sinclair, Caleb McLaughlin, ladies and gentlemen. We have the kid with the biggest heart, the dopest hat, and the most beautiful smile, Dustin Henderson, Gaten Matarazzo. And now, the only boy who has escaped the upside down, Will Byers, Noah Schnapp, ladies and gentlemen. Next up, the ringleader of the pack and everyone's favorite best friend, it's Mike Wheeler, Finn Wolfhard, ladies and gentlemen. Yeah. Finn Wolfhard, an actor born with the greatest porn name ever, ladies and gentlemen.
Hey man, thanks.
It is.
Really puts a great thing on my future.
Oh yeah, no. Get a good agent, please. Just, you're allowed to say no to things, okay?
Introduce the next
Just don't do anything called stranger thongs. That's all I'm saying. And lastly, come on, man. That's what, thank you. You still got it, Oswald. And lastly, in a world of 10s, be an 11, ladies and gentlemen, welcome the girl who can flip bands with her mind, Millie Bobby Brown. All right. So Finn Wolfhard.
Dude,
How did you?
stop.
When you nail a take, do you look at the camera and go Wolfhard?
One single one. And then they kick me out.
How did you get into the mind of Martin Willie? You really nail what it's like to be when you're a kid and you're actually a little more mature and intelligent than the other kids, and sometimes that's not an advantage. That, you know, like you kind of, how did you get into that mindset in the show? Because I remember moments like that growing up, like, oh, people don't want you to be this smart. So how did you nail that so well?
I mean, I'm not like that in real life, which is, but I don't know. I think it's kind of cool because you can sort of access your intensities and bring out that sort of leader vibe. But I'm not really sure. I mean, being smarter than all the rest of the kids is, I don't think Mike the character realizes that he's really smarter than the rest of the kids. I think he's just like oblivious to everything.
Wow. Cool. Yeah, that was. And now Noah, and I don't want to make you do any spoilers, but how has your character changed from being in the Upside Down, coming back? Like that's a weird question. I don't want to spoil the next season, but I mean, how did you? I'm going to let you try to answer my horrible question fast.
I think this, compared to last season, Will definitely shows more bravery. And then you'll definitely learn how the Upside Down affected Will, and you'll get more into his storyline. But there's not much I can say, because I don't want to spoil anything.
Your producer's glaring at you right now. Sorry.
I see that.
Yeah, exactly. Gate and Caleb, you guys are you guys are playing characters that are faced with a lot of weirdness and horror, and you stay very, very optimistic and upbeat, and you're about to deal with a new character that we're going to meet in a little bit, played by Sadie Sink. How do you think, is that going to change the dynamic of the group, or like what do we have to look forward to from you guys as characters?
These questions, man, the producers are just like staring at us.
No, this one feels safe.
Does it?
A little bit.
No, it's kind of hard to like loop around.
Yeah, like just talk about the story, because I mean, it's a fun story.
You know, we are friends.
I like this answer.
Like me.
Right?
How's it going? Is it going well?
This is
going
going
well?
great.
Yes, thank you.
Caleb, did you have to do slingshot training? Did they? Oh, whoa, okay. Sorry.
You know, I realized that like I did it wrong.
What?
Like I held it weird in the beginning, and then I had to learn how to like the actual day where I had to like try to slingshot the Demogorgon. I was kind of like shooting it at the camera and everyone else around there. So I kind of had to teach myself, and like also like the duffers were helping me out. Like, oh, this is a good idea, and so I guess real training just with like more than one person.
Did you hit Mark in the eye though?
Huh?
Did you hit Mark in the eye?
No.
No, okay.
I didn't.
I thought you might have, sorry.
No, you're good.
Because he was there, you know, I thought I remember you hitting the eye. What?
Now, Millie, you have, you have minimal lines in this first season, and you have become this global phenomenon. So how do you play a character that speaks so little but expresses so much? Like, how did you get into that?
I mean, it was difficult because obviously I had
I had very few lines, and I had to do everything, you know, express everything with my face, which is very hard. But it gets easier when you feel more comfortable with your character. The first 2 episodes, actually, I immediately fell in love with Eleven, and Eleven was me. So every day I'd come on set, and I think the only thing that was hard was crying, because I feel like I'm a happy person. So in real life, so that when I'm crying, it doesn't come across. I need like 5 minutes to kind of get in the zone. But other than that, I mean, it was difficult to portray such a hard character. But yeah, like I said, it gets easier. It's hard to keep a straight face with, you know, teen boys, because they play pranks and they tell a lot of jokes. Like when I'm doing an emotional scene.
She's talking about David, by the way.
Yeah, no, I mean, I'm professional, but you know, overall, it was all right.
David K. Harbour.
Yeah, what's up?
We're not selling timeshares, David.
Pat, I got a great one. You get a free clock radio if you just listen to my pitch. Come on, Pat, ask a question.
Well, okay, you and I have kind of become friends.
Yeah, we became Twitter. We have a Twitter bromance.
And so we hang out with each other.
Sometimes.
All right,
Not enough.
Not enough?
Okay, go ahead.
Cool. All right, just want to establish that. Question for Matthew. Well, again, a lot of these questions that I don't like. Here's the question: how is Chief Hopper in season 2? But I don't want you guys have to give stuff away. The last we saw of you, you're leaving Egos for 11. You've accepted. You went from this very cynical, this is nonsense.
Yes.
I believe.
No, I will say something kind of serious. I mean, like, one of the great things about season 1, at least for Chief Hopper, is that he does get to go on such a classic hero's journey, right? Like, he starts out like such a jerk and such a loser and so horrible and you hate it. And then, no, it's true, and don't worry, I know how to play that. And then by around episode 4, you're like, this guy is super awesome, and if he dies, I'm suing Netflix. I feel the same way. I mean, no, right? Come on. Keep those emails coming, by the way. Because no one in Hawkins, Indiana is safe. But I will say, so the journey was so satisfying to see him come to life. And I often say that, like, that breath that he takes after he revives Will, where he almost killed Noah Schnapp doing CPR, he sort of wakes up, right?
Yeah.
And so in season 2, it's like, it's a year later, and you can't start where you can't do the same thing. You can't wake up again. So I think one of the really interesting subtle things about the arc in season 2, which I can tell you, is that there is a psychology of a heroic action where someone does something heroic, and then whether or not they can live up to that in their daily life, or whether or not there are perils even of your own being a savior complex, and the sort of intricate psychology of like what that makes you as a human being and the pitfalls of that. So you're going to see a wildly different arc in season 2, but to me it's just as satisfying, like where we get to in the end. And it all begins with leaving Egos for a character in the woods who he feels like might still be out there, and he's got some daughter issues of his own, as you're well aware. So, so I'll just leave it at that.
And then a question that got texted to me, will there be more Sheriff Hopper shirtless scenes?
Yeah, nobody needs to see. That was the one hate mail we got from Netflix. It's like, please, the marshmallow body on David Harbour. Enough with that. I think, you know, hey, whoa, I'm sorry.
Body shaming yourself.
We'll definitely, Hopper gets to do some very thrilling, sexy things in season 2.
Ooh.
So, enjoy, kids.
Question for Matthew. You have played some of my favorite, most difficult, complicated character movies like Birdie and thank you. And so you also play a very complicated, ambiguous character in this series. Talk about how you got into that, into your character here. Oh dear.
What's up, San Diego? Anybody here from San Diego that lives here? Imperial Beach local. Right here, Patton, I don't have any way of answering that question other than to, I mean, the wonderful Duffer Brothers and Sean Levy, they created an amazing script that provided each of us with characters. That's where it all begins, you know.
Yeah.
And you take those words and you try to create a character and bring that person to life. It was a great pleasure. You know, I can't be any more complicated than that. I went to acting school and they taught me how to do it.
Wow, nice. Now, Natalia and Joe, can you tell us, with no spoiler, all the questions, they're all spoiler questions, sorry, but like, what do you think is going to be happening with you guys? What can you tell us about where you guys are heading in season 2? Huh?
We know it happened.
You know, buddy. How much talking did you do to the Duffer Brothers about, because they're juggling really all these characters, everyone on the show does have arcs. So how much input or how much did you talk to these guys about where the characters would be going and how they would develop and change? Or?
I feel like almost every time a new script would come out, we would kind of read the script and all talk about it, me, Charlie, Natalia, and especially kind of all of our relationships together. And then kind of have a little conference with the boys about, you know, what their thoughts were, what our thoughts were, and then kind of collaborate and come to this agreement.
Collaborate, yeah.
But I also loved how you two are playing very standard 80s film archetypes. You know, like the pretty girl and the bad boy jerk boyfriend. But then that's what you are. You turn out heroic. They add all these dimensions to you. And they seem to have a lot of fun going, let's start them as cliches and then open up all these elements to it.
Right.
It's really interesting. Was that fun to play? Or?
No, I mean, yeah, it's, I mean, a credit to these boys for, you know, giving us characters that are more than what they seem, that are complex, and that feel very real. And that's honestly, it's a gift, and it's a lot of fun. Yeah.
It's like on paper, it seems very one-sided. Where I remember like reading the first episode, you read the character and it could just be some jerk. But I think, you know, at the end of the day, you want to bring a real person, you know, to this thing that is such a great group of people. So yeah, I think it's just about trying to like find the human moments in the script and kind of.
You guys did it was really amazing. And I understand that there are some additional cast members you would like to introduce us to now?
I guess I don't know how I got to be in charge of this, but I'm going to do it.
That's the Remus room.
The first person I am going to introduce is a new character named Billy, and it's played by Dacre Montgomery. Everybody. And next we have Max, aka Mad Max, played by the wonderful Sadie Sink.
And we have the newest addition to Hawkins' lab, Dr. Owens, played by Paul Reiser.
Thank God I'm here.
Before we talk to them and meet them, Duffers.
Yeah.
Duffer Unit.
Yeah.
Duffer Voltron.
Yeah.
You have something you would like to introduce to the audience.
Shoot, yeah. Yeah. Well,
That's probably a question, right?
no, we can do this, David. You know.
I mean,
You want to answer?
isn't it a question? Don't you wouldn't ask the audience this?
You can answer.
You guys want to see some new stuff? Would you guys be interested in seeing maybe a new trailer for season 2?
The Duffer Brothers have asked me, they worked really, really hard on this new season, so they're asking if you would all please take out your cell phones and take the blurriest, most awful footage and put their hard work on the internet, kind of slightly tilted, and you can hear you breathing, going, "Oh my God, oh dude, this is great, oh God, so please, it would be so respectful for you guys if you, that'd be great. So.
No, we're excited. It's been over a year. No one up here has even seen this thing.
Seen it.
You're the first. Can't imagine a better place than right here.
We're going to show that again before we're done here. We're watching it now. Please. Holy shit! Vincent Price for the Thriller thing! Okay, sorry, I gotta be moderate. That was great! Okay. Very excited right now. Sorry. I'd like to talk to the new cast members really quick. Montgomery, tell us a little bit about your character this new season.
Well, just to start, that was amazing. And I was a huge fan of the first season, so this is amazing to kind of see this up there and be part of it. I think a little bit about my character is the Duffers were very vocal with me about playing around with, as you see here, monsters, like as an antagonist, and they kind of wanted to play around with me as a human antagonist. So dropping a little bit of spice into a recipe that you all know and love is an honor, and I hope that I can be scary enough. Well, I won't give away too much else, but it's been a lot of fun. Thank you.
Wow. And now, Paul Reiser. Paul Reiser, I have a question. I worked at Zanies in Chicago a week after you, back in 1989. In the condo, I left a cassette tape. It was Smithereens, and did you?
No, I got it. I have it. No, I thought you'd ask for it, but I got it.
Okay, I need that back. So you had, I'm going to assume...
I'm curious if that show will be any good if you see it from a distance, because from like looking up like that, it's unbelievable.
Oh, I know. It was
very close and very low. It's fantastic.
You know what? This next season, the Duffers have asked if you would lay on the floor under your TV and watch it that way. That was, when they show it again, I'm going to try to
can we all do that?
Yeah. Oh my God. Now,
does it look good from down there?
Look good? Now, am I assuming rightly that you're a villain or not, or what? Who are you?
Yes, you're assuming.
I am assuming.
Yes, you're assuming. I won't say. I think it's understandably they're a little nervous about the guy who's coming in to replace this freaking guy who was no good. I always said it. I said it, by the way, in earlier films. I said that guy's no good. So I basically come in from the government to clean up Brenner's mess, and
It's not a mess.
we'll see. Well, not a mess, but it was untight. It was certainly untight, and certain things happen.
Okay.
Why do you assume that I'm not like the acting?
Your scenes are sinister.
Yeah.
That's it. You got wires on a kid's
It was so
head.
tough that I couldn't even put it in the trailer. That's how brutal and lively my stuff.
Okay.
They thought it would be too much for these people.
You're a funny actor, but you're also good at playing sinister. I was not sad when you got eaten in Aliens. I'm sorry. You were a sinister guy. Wow. Okay. Maybe that was a little.
You're not getting that cassette back now, baby.
Now, Sadie, you are joining the kids. You are playing a character named Mad Max. So how do you interact with them? What did you like best about doing it? Had you watched the first season?
Yes, I watched the first season. All my friends loved it.
Yeah.
No, I didn't like it. I just loved it. I loved it. So that's what made getting the audition really exciting for me, just knowing the show. And I knew Caleb and Gaten before.
Oh, you did?
Yeah, we were all on Broadway together.
You were on Broadway together? That's, oh my God! Oh my God! It's so cute! It's cute! Like, Wolf Hard, I'm doing something. Wolf Hard!
Meet me in the parking lot by 3.
So not the face though. This is where I make my money. Again, without spoilers, like how do you join the group? Or should we just wait to find this out? I feel weird asking this, but
How do I join the group?
Oh.
So, I mean, she moves from California, so that's how she fits into season 2.
oh, okay. Let's leave it at that. I don't want to
Right, yeah, we don't want to
anything.
spoil anything, but...
Now, I want